Hello and welcome to the February resident meeting recording at the Carrington at Lincolnwood. Joined here today by our resident council. We'll go around and do introductions, and as usual, I will step out from behind the camera.
Mary Jo.
Phil.
Ima.
And I'm Tom Whitaker, Executive Director of the Carrington. Thank you all for joining to watch. We're recording this on Monday, February 22nd, to be played on the week, Tuesday, February 23rd, and through the week a couple times so that residents can see the video. And we have some long-awaited and exciting updates to share with you about COVID and vaccines, and also what's going on in the community. So the Carrington partnered with Walgreens to receive the Pfizer vaccines, and our residents received their first dose January 22nd, their second dose 21 days later on February 12th, and by all accounts, over 99% of our residents have completed the vaccine, which is a fantastic number. We do have several residents who may have gotten their first dose on February 12th. They'll be getting their second dose on March 5th to complete. And we've even been told by Walgreens that if new residents move in between now and the 5th, they can get their first dose on the 5th and make an appointment with that local Walgreens at Lincoln and Pratt to get their second dose from that site. Let's see, with that, so as I said, over 99% of residents. With our staff, we have, between the staff who have completed and the staff who got their first dose on February 12th, as well as those who may have gotten it from another employer, we're over 70% for staff vaccination, and 43 of those staff members will be getting their second dose on March 5th. With IDPH and CMS phases and vaccines, have some important updates to share. The Carrington has been approved to progress from CMS phase 1 to CMS phase 2, which I am happy to report allowed us to have 28 families visit assisted living and memory care residents in the indoor common area, the dining room, on this past Sunday. We have a really neat app that our Life Enrichment Director for Assisted Living, Adrian, signed up for, so that families can go on that app, reserve a 1-hour time block for meeting, and visitations are scheduled Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday afternoons. What else is going on in CMS Phase 2? As of Monday the 22nd, we resumed lunch service in the dining room for assisted living, as well as for our bridge residents on the 3rd floor of assisted living that have their own dining room. All 3 meals a day are now available to be served in that dining area for them to enjoy with each other. Our independent living dining room will resume lunch service on March 1st, and I'm told by our food and beverage director, Monica, that your menu will include the option to circle delivery or dining room for your lunch meal, and if you feel comfortable doing so, you can have your lunch delivery picked up there. We did do a survey to get resident input on this before we moved ahead with that decision, and out of 128 independent living residents who replied to the survey, 67 residents were accepted that and wanted to move forward with that. 61 residents declined. They felt that they would wait and continue with the meal delivery, and we'll continue to deliver meals to all residents that feel more comfortable doing so at no additional charge at this time, because the dining rooms are not open for full service. Also in independent living, we've increased the seating capacity in common areas where social distancing allows for small groups that are greater than 10, in the bistro, the tap room, the cafe, the living room, all on the 1st floor. There is adequate distance to have up to 16 residents now, which is helpful for games and activities. It's still wear your masks. Some people in the cafe, I know you enjoy your coffee. I would encourage you to keep your mask up even while you have your cup of coffee, and only take it down in between sips so that your mask is on as much as possible. In terms of visitors, we talked about visitation for assisted living memory care in CMS Phase 2. With this week's testing, with all negative results, we'll be able to apply for CMS Phase 3. And with CMS Phase 3, there's a couple things that will happen. First, our independent living residents that have finished their vaccines 2 weeks ago, on Friday, with the CMS Phase 3, you would be able to leave the community for appointments other than medical appointments. So I know that's been a long time coming, and CDC current recommendations show that after 2 weeks of receiving the second dose, that you are protected. So if you have an appointment that is non-medical in nature, as of Friday, February 26th, independent living residents will be able to go out and do those appointments. Again, always wear your mask, exercise caution, be super careful, because not everybody outside the community has received the vaccine like your neighbors. We will also be resuming the designated visitors in independent living effective Monday, March 1st. Now, for your designated visitor, this can be someone that would need to have either proof they've completed their vaccine, both doses, or that they have negative test results that are less than 7 days old, and consistent with the IDPH guidance for visitors for the assisted living memory care, will allow that designated visitor as well as up to one more member of their immediate household that lives with them. Again, everyone has to be over 18 years of age, but if your son and daughter-in-law are both, obviously, if they live together, they would be able to do that private visit in your apartment. I want to be very clear that common areas are still for residents only at this time. So we want to be extra cautious, especially with folks who haven't been vaccinated. You visit in your apartment, you should have your masks on at all times, maintain that distance, but also please be courteous to your neighbors in terms of the common area spaces. Because we're still at that limited seating capacity, we ask you to have the designated visitors beginning March 1st in your apartments only. And deep breath, exhale. That has been a long time coming. I appreciate everyone's commitment to safety and putting up with me and the phrase IDPH guidance over and over again. It's important that we do things safely, but thank you all very much. The census, this is always a question. How many people live here? So we have 188 independent living residents in 156 apartments, which means we have 32 second occupants. In assisted living, we have 47 AL residents that are occupying 42 apartments. In memory care, we have 32 residents occupying 30 apartments. We just had a move-in on Saturday. So as a community, we're approximately 60% occupied.
Nice.
Yes, and we have several more for the month of February so far. We have 8 leases signed. So looking forward to a total of, I believe, 9 new residents for 8 apartments joining us here at the Carrington. The majority are coming to our memory care area. We also have an independent living resident moving in as well. So we look forward to having them join the community. The other thing I've been asked to talk about is the K4 Connect system. So residents may have heard some construction work going on in unoccupied apartments. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. It's noisy because we need to do some modifications to the light switch boxes. And what that is doing is putting some equipment in there where anytime you walk by, that motion sensor registers you and the goal is to have these installed in all our resident apartments in independent living for a resident check-in system. It's really cool because it's invisible technology. You don't have to change a thing you do. Basically, you walk around in your apartment, you go to the kitchen, you go to the washroom in between certain hours in the morning and also certain hours in the evening. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Any occupied apartments that residents do not activate that check-in system, it sends an email out, and we'll let you know when this is active, but it sends an email out letting us know what apartments we need to call and potentially do a wellness check just to make sure everything's okay. So stay tuned for that. At last count, the maintenance team had successfully installed approximately 25 apartments, and we're working on getting more done each week. So that is the K4 Connect resident check-in system, and the goal is to have that installation completed by the end of March. We'll keep you updated on the progress.
Tom, I think we need to be clear that there's no invasion of anybody's privacy here.
No cameras.
It's no cameras,
Correct.
no nothing. It'll detect the motion of somebody in the apartment, and nobody should worry about their privacy at all.
Right. There is no
But
data
there's safety.
recorded. It is only whether you activated the system in your apartment each day during the specified times. No cameras whatsoever. It's the same technology that allows, if you have it on, when you walk in your bathroom, the light switch turns on. That's from the motion sensor. This check-in system uses the exact same technology.
Thank you.
Good point. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's enough for me now.
Okay.
I will pass it along to Mary Jo.
Hi. Good news. Some of you know who Arthur King is. I have not met him, but he teaches apparently some classes right now in the fitness center, and he has been hired full-time beginning March 9th, and he will be here Tuesday through Saturday. So look forward to seeing some new classes and schedules for the fitness center. A group of us have worked on the resident guide, and some of you may wonder what that is because we haven't been handing it out. A little bit of a cross communication thing, but the same team or a group of us are going to revisit it, come up with a new, improved, updated version of the resident guide. And when that's totally done, it'll probably not be till toward the end of March. And it's approved, the information has to be approved, everything we put in there has to be approved by appropriate departments. If we have health information, Helen has to know it. If we have operations issues, Dave has to know. So it's a pretty exhaustive how to live here document. But once that's all done, it will be distributed to every apartment, one way or another. We'll get it to you. It has been my privilege and my pleasure to have served on council for 2 years. I am becoming a citizen again, effective March 1st. It's taking 3 new people to replace me. You'll have a wonderful time with the new council members who Jaime will mention. So I just want to say au revoir. I'll see you around. I'm going to be helping out with other projects, and I do have a face, and I smile up behind the mask. See you around.
And my little talk is going to be in such gratitude to this young lady on my right-hand side.
No lady, and I'm not young.
I beg to differ on that. But anyway, she has been very, very supportive. Not just as what she did for the group, but to make sure that we were kept on the up and up. And with that, I don't know how else we can show our gratitude, but to say thank you, Mary Jo.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Beyond words.
I will be around to bug you no matter.
I
Good.
know she will. I know
Good.
she will. The bugging I'm talking about.
Yes. All right, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, hi, Mary Jo.
Yes.
Words are really inadequate to tell you how much fun it's been and what a pleasure it's been to do this together with
My
you.
halo is growing bigger.
It's okay. It's deserved. It's earned and deserved.
Thank
It
you.
is.
My
And,
pleasure.
thank you.
It's been fun.
It's been our pleasure too. I want to ask residents to think about if you happen to leave the building overnight. I had a sleep study recently. I was gone overnight. I let the concierge know when I left in the evening. I let them know when I returned in the morning. If you go visiting somebody, if you go away on a trip, if you go to the hospital and you go by yourself for some reason and you don't come back that evening, please let the concierge know. On one hand, it's a courtesy. On the other hand, it's a safety issue. We need to know where everybody is because we do need to know if nobody's in an apartment, if there are newspapers that don't get picked up in the morning, if there's a meal that doesn't get picked up. The residents worry when they see neighbors' stuff accumulating, and the building worries about it. So please, if you're gone overnight, let the concierge know. The resident board will lose Mary Jo. We're very delighted to say that the resident council is gaining Jeannie Brown, Frida Meyer, and Jack Shore will be coming onto the council officially on March 1st is when their term begins. Phil Castro Giovanni and me, I'm Jaime Levin, will be remaining with the board. We will have a new constellation of 5 of us. And as you know from previous conversations, each year either 2 or 3 people will go off the board and 2 or 3 new people will come on, with a continuing board that has overlap and has history and can carry on in useful, wonderful ways. I think that's about it for me. I want to say this is the last resident meeting with this board as it currently is set. And it's been a pleasure being on this board and being part of it, and to thank Tom for so many things that Tom makes happen. And as Tom tells us that Friday the 26th, a week from this Friday, you'll hear this Friday, that we can go out for things other than doctor's appointments. I think that all over this building, we are all grateful to Tom for keeping us safe.
Yes.
There's no
Thank you.
question about that. It's been hard for Tom. It's been hard for us. We've made it. We've made it through a year of this, and we earned it. We deserve it. And we have to keep us safe. We can't say that enough times. We have to, if we leave the building, we have to be certain that we're doing it carefully and thoughtfully.
Yes.
Can't bring anything back in here. Otherwise, we lose it all again. So, Tom, our
Thank you, Tom.
incredible gratitude.
Through a hard year.
You are an example of remarkable leadership for us, and we are appreciative of that.
Yes. Very
And
nice.
behind my mask is a great big smile, so thank you.
You are welcome, and I'd like to go on record by saying the many, many compliments that we received from staff members, residents, families, and the Walgreens team about how well the vaccine process has gone at the Carrington is very much due to the efforts of the resident council as well as countless other staff members who supported with the logistics. So I'd like to thank all of you, because when we hear good things about how it went, it's very much because of your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Here to serve.
Ooh,
See you guys.
Yeah, with that, I think the HVAC kicked on, so the sound's not going to be very great here on out. We'll record the March. Again, this is recorded Monday, February 22nd, to be broadcast on February 23rd. Please keep an eye out for community updates. I'll be issuing one tomorrow, Tuesday the 23rd, and again on Friday the 26th. Please let any family members who are interested in knowing what's going on in the community. We all know that the updates get delivered to your door at least twice a week. Let them know that they can call the front desk and ask to be added to our email distribution list, and that if they're on smartphones, they can download the Touchtown app, and we can give them the information to log in so they can also see other announcements about the community. We want to be as transparent as possible and keep everyone as informed as possible about what's going on at the Carrington.
Okay,
Okay.
That's all I got.
over and
Bye-bye.
out.
Ciao.